alaikum. It's the middle of summer here in Israel and my skin is slowly melting off my body. Can anybody relate? This is my 4th summer spent here in Israel during the summertime and I swear it never gets easier. In fact, I think it gets more difficult because you know what's coming this time of year and you have no way to prepare for it. You're just helpless. What am I talking about, you might be asking yourself? Well, I'm Marisa, your least favorite העולה, החדשה, and today I'm here to share the 5 things I find bizarre about Israel during the summertime. Or as I like to call it, the inferno. I have a lot of topics to cover here today, so let's just jump right into it. Shall we? I'm taking this with me. No, it's not my phone. It is the air conditioning remote. It's more important than a phone. If you're Israeli, you know why. Yalla, let's begin. Topic number 1. Can you guess what it is? This heat. Why waste your money going to a spa when Israel is just one big free sauna during the summertime? But not only is it 1,000,000 degrees out during the summer, it's incredibly humid too. I am in a constant state of sweating and feeling sticky. When I get up in the morning, I sweat. When I make my bed, I sweat. When I make breakfast, I sweat. When I take a shower, I sweat inside the shower. Don't believe me? It's true. You can sweat in a shower here in Israel. Anything's possible when it's 32 degrees Celsius outside with 75% humidity. Does anyone else feel like we wait all year long for it to be summer? To be able to go to the beach and hang out with our friends, soak in the beautiful sunsets, enjoy the warm weather. But I think we all forget just how warm that weather can be. And then the most ironic part of it all is that we just end up staying home during the summer because it's too hot to do anything in the middle of the day, and home is the only place with guaranteed air conditioning. Besides Ampam, but you know, same thing. Ampam is home sometimes, isn't it? Which leads me into my next topic. The mazgan, or what we Americans call the air conditioner. How would we ever make it through a summer in Israel without this beautiful, loving companion? In fact, Israelis have become so dependent on air conditioning that it's pretty much on full blast everywhere during the summer. So much so that you could be walking down the sidewalk in the blistering heat, and within seconds you can enter a store and be met with the Arctic cold front of their air conditioning system. Especially at work, the air conditioning is on all the time. Kol hazman. The summertime tends to bring out everyone's competitive nature of fighting over the air conditioning remote. How many of you have gotten in a fight with a coworker over what temperature to set the AC at? And no matter what temperature it's set to, it always seems to be a little too cold, which leaves you in the position of having to bring a jacket with you to work in 32-degree weather. Simply because of the mazgan. The air conditioner is both friend and foe, and it makes things very difficult to know what to wear each day. This leaves us planning our summer outfits based on how much air conditioning exposure we'll have on that given day. Like right now, I have a jacket on, I'm right in front of it. Honestly, it's still too hot though. It is still too hot, I can't wear this. Let's say you're spending most of your day at the beach. Sure, go ahead, wear a tank top and shorts. That will work just fine. But all day at the office, you better be wearing some jeans and a parka coat, my friend. The mazgan does not play around here. Speaking of the beach, forget about it. Just forget about it. Because do you know who else decided to go to the beach that day? Every person in the state of Israel. And it's not only the beaches, it's the trails and the springs too that are exploding with people. Everyone comes out to play this time of year. Not only is it hard to find a good spot on the beach to just enjoy yourself and relax, but there are like 5 stereos playing different music all around you. There's matkat balls flying all over you. You might get hit. I don't know. It's just a lot of stimulus at one time. And don't even get me started about the freshwater springs here in Israel. Do you know what I see every time I go to a spring in the summertime? Kids. Do you know what kids like to do in the water? Pee. They like to pee. How can you look at those kids playing in the springs during the summertime and think that they have any control over their bladder? I refuse to enter the water when I get to a spring. I rather not. I rather just sit on the sidelines and watch everyone else have fun. I'm not really into swimming in pee. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. All I can think about is the percentage of pee that has infiltrated that water since the first week of summer. So, lovely thoughts. Let's move on. Let's talk about the summertime fashion choices, shall we? Namely, the shoe wear. It seems like everyone's hanging up their Blundstones during the summertime, and instead they're opting for teva naot. Bavakasha. These are mine. Yes, I do have a pair of teva naot. I feel very Israeli. Thank you for asking. I'm pretty sure it's written in Israeli law that there shall be no Blundstones during the summer, rak teva naot. And I didn't want to break the law, so I went ahead and bought myself a pair of teva naot. Now this this is a fashion statement I can get behind. I love tevanaot. They're comfortable, they're practical, they can kind of be fashionable at times. You know, if the lights are off and no one's looking. What's not to love about them? They're the best. They're what I like to call the summertime blundstone because they're just as popular as blundstones, but they're more practical for the extreme heat in Israel. You know what though? I do see some people still wearing blundstones in the summertime, and wow, that is just true commitment right there. I don't know how they do it with all that heat getting trapped in that boot. You know, if I wore blundstones during the summertime, I would create a little mini kiddie pool with all the sweat in my boot. Moving along to my least favorite part of the Israeli summers. Can you guess what? I'll give you 2 seconds. Finally, my least favorite part about the Israeli summers, which would be the not so friendly creatures that always tend to reappear in the summertime. I'm talking meduzot, I'm talking jukim, and I am talking nachashim? Nachshim? Snakes, okay? Each creature conquering a different sphere of life. The meduzot controlling the sea, the snakes rule over the land, and the jukim are the masters of flight. I am truly not a fan of the summertime Israeli creatures. They freak me out. The meduzot are super eerie, and they're only supposed to come for like 2 weeks in the summertime, but they always seem to come a little bit late, and they always seem to overstay their welcome. Not that they're welcome at all. I mean, I don't know why they still come. Haven't they got the hint that we don't like them? This means that I can't enter the sea without being paranoid that a jellyfish is right by my leg, which then leads me into having a full-blown panic attack in the sea with other people watching, while the beach is just exploding with people. It's just not a very pleasant thing. Moving on to snakes. I have never in my life seen a snake in person before moving to Israel. And then I saw 2 snakes 2 consecutive days in the first couple weeks of summer. This wasn't great news for me, being an Ola Hadasha who's scared of snakes. They're just as scary as I always thought that they would be, and now I can't walk anywhere without carefully inspecting the ground below me and scanning my surrounding areas. Because those guys, they'll just pop out of nowhere. They just slither on past you. It's scary. Not to mention that the snakes that I did see, highly poisonous. And lastly, the jukim. There is absolutely nothing pleasant about the Israeli jukim, or what we Americans call cockroaches. And yes, there's a reason we gave them the foulest name that we could possibly think of, cockroach. It's because they're gross. There is absolutely nothing redeemable, nothing exciting, nothing pleasant about them. No one likes them. I think there's a consensus about it. If you like a cockroach, I'm worried about you. If you like cockroaches, I think you're a serial killer. They're ugly, they run way too fast, and worst of all, they can fly. And I just hate them. I hate them. I'm sorry, I don't hate a lot of things. I feel like hate's a strong word, but I do hate cockroaches. Each week, a new cockroach decides to trespass into my home, and I'm just over it. I'm sick of it. Nimasli, die! Okay, I have to stop talking about this. I'm getting disgusted, and I'm having a hard time keeping my food down. So let's just wrap this little thing up. All right, guys, those were the top 5 things that I find bizarre about Israel during the summertime, from the perspective of an Ola Hadasha. However, even with all these drawbacks, you know, the jukim, the meduzo, the heat, the kids peeing in the freshwater pools, you know, all that stuff, Israel is still a lovely country to be in during the summertime, and quite frankly, I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. I think Israel is one of the most beautiful places during the summer, and I feel so grateful to be here, even though it's 32 degrees outside and I'm kind of melting away. But it's okay, it's fine, because it's beautiful. The scenery is gorgeous, the sea is warm, and it's definitely where I enjoy spending my summers. If we could just figure out a way how to remove the jellyfish and the snakes and the jukim, it would be perfect. Mushlam. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed hearing my commentary about the Israeli summers, and I'd love to hear from you. What's your favorite and least favorite part about summers here in Israel? I bet it's the jukim. I mean, gosh, they're just everywhere. They're everywhere. I hope you guys are having a lovely summer. Make sure to wear sunscreen and a hat and sunglasses. You don't want to get sunburned. The sun here in Israel, it's very intense. It will get you, so stay protected. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you to DTV for having me, and I will see you guys soon. Bye-bye.
רגע, לא לעבור לסרטון הבא. אני לוסי אריש, ולי ולחברים שלי יש משהו מאוד חשוב להגיד לכם.
בדמוקרטTV אנחנו עושים תוכן מכל הסוגים.
מעניין, מעמיק, מגוון וגם פאן.
דמוקרטTV הוא ערוץ עצמאי שמומן על ידיכם, על ידי הצופים.
כדי שנמשיך לעשות תוכן איכותי, כמו זה שראיתם עכשיו, בדמוקרטTV.
אנחנו צריכים אתכם.
דמוקרטTV, זה תוכן שלכם ובשבילכם. תודה.